So what is the secret to influence people to say yes to you? Watch this entire video to find out. Many years ago, I noticed that some people are just better than others to influence others to say yes to them. It made me think, why are they so great at influencing people? What is their secret behind influencing them to say yes? So I made a decision to study influence. It was clear to me that people who earn more money were always better at influencing other people compared to those who earned less money. They had more influence, they had more clients, and they could charge more money for their products and service. So I really wanted to know, what is their secret to influencing people? I had to figure out the secret behind influencing people. I was obsessed with finding that out. So I started to study influence. I went to some of the best seminars. I hired some of the best coaches. And what I've learned is that there's certainly more than one secret to influence people. There are many secrets. And the more that you know, the more money you earn. Throughout my entire career, I've been studying influence since I'm 20 years old. As a result of studying influence, I've earned now more than 1.5 billion baht. Isn't that amazing? That's a lot of money, right? So in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 secrets on how to influence people to say yes to you. Secret number 1, you have to make an irresistible offer, because today, people are so bombarded with products and service and offers that you want to make sure that your offer is irresistible, that it's better than everyone else. Making the person an offer they can't refuse is probably the single most important secret to influencing people. Because the reason I say that is there are 3 kinds of offers. There's number 1, a bad offer, which you definitely don't want to make. There's a regular offer, which is just average, which doesn't really persuade anybody. And there's a third one, which is called, of course, the irresistible offer. So what is an irresistible offer? Let me share with you 3 definitions to that. Number 1, it is an offer that adds more value compared to anyone else. It adds so much value compared to the investment they're making that the value is so big and the price is small. That's what it does. Number 2, your offer has to be so irresistible, so attractive that people are going to feel stupid if they say no to it. They feel like you have to be crazy to say no to that. Does that make sense? And number 3, it's flip side. If they say yes, they will feel beautiful state. And that's what we want to do. We want people to associate this beautiful state to buying our product and service. Does that make sense? So how do you make such an irresistible offer? I'm going to tell you. So there's one obvious way to make such an offer, and that's to cut the price, right? And that's what the beginners do. They try to cut prices down. And that certainly works. But if you don't want to cut the price, then what can you do? And that brings us to secret number 2, which is to add more value instead of cutting price. Now, how do we add more value? You see, the biggest mistake people make when they sell online and all that is they say, here's my product, and here's the value you're going to get, and here's how much it is. It's like one thing. But one way to add more value is to add more bonuses. Right? Like if you offer one thing, but I offer you like 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 things, and I stack them, I stack the value, then you're going to feel my offer is pretty good because you're getting very valuable bonus. So we call that in persuasion school stacking value. And it's one of the secret on how to persuade people to say yes to you. In other words, let's say that I'm selling you a $100 product, just $100, right? If I want to sell you that $100 product, then I need to add enough bonuses that the total value I add you is worth at least $1,000, so that you feel, wow, I can get $1,000 for $100. That's a good offer. Does that make sense? So instead of cutting the $100 to $50, I would just give you more valuable bonuses attached into a bundle offer. But we got to be very careful here, because I see a lot of people who add bonuses that people don't really see the value. So you have to have real valuable bonus that people already believe that these bonuses are real value. They're not fake, they're real. Does that make sense? Which brings us to secret number 3. And secret number 3 is you got to give people reasons to buy now. You have to create urgency, because if people don't have a reason to buy right now, they're not gonna buy now. So think of it this way. When you make a great offer, an irresistible offer, you will have 3 types of person. The first person is the person who said, yes, I want that. They grab it right away and they decide to buy right in that moment. Okay, so that's obviously a good thing. The second type of person is the person who said no. And there's probably nothing you can say at that moment to persuade them, because they have objections and you didn't handle their objections. So they will not buy at that moment. There's nothing you can say unless you overcome their objections. And number 3 is the person who's like a maybe. We call them maybes, right? And they're still thinking in their head, wow, should I do this or not? But you haven't pushed them enough. You haven't given them enough reasons to buy now, or maybe you didn't add enough value. Either way. But suppose you added enough value, then the way you persuade more people is you have to add more reason to buy right now. Does that make sense? So how do we do that? How do we create urgency for people to buy now, right? How do we do that? So let me share with you 3 ways to create urgency. Number 1, this is one of my favorite, we use it a lot, is that we say, okay, you can buy it right now for this price, and that is a very special price. But if you don't buy it now, the price is gonna go up at midnight. But here's the key to this. You cannot do that and then not keep your promise. When I say that my price is going to go up, we always increase the price. So make sure that if you do use price urgency, that you don't really lower the price the next day. You have to increase the price as you say you did. Does that make sense? So that's the first way. The second way is you give them a reward, an incentive. If they buy now, they get this big bonus, but only if they buy right now. So I've used that many times and it does work. And the final way, the third way, there's more ways, but right now I'll tell you 3, is to create scarcity. In other words, like if I'm selling coaching and I say to you, okay, I've got only 3 spots, first come, first serve. This creates FOMO, fear of missing out. And we want to create that fear that, hey, you know, if you don't buy now, you're going to miss out because there's only 3 spots left. So you create a limited quantity. In influence school, we call that scarcity. We want to create enough scarcity that they feel FOMO. FOMO means fear of missing out. And that's how we can create urgency. But I will tell you right now, you need to create urgency every single time if you want to maximize your revenue. Does that make sense? Please share this video, because when you share this video, you're helping somebody else earn more income. So go ahead and share this video now.